Hi everyone, this is me Seethal and welcome back to IELTS with Seethal. In today's video, we are going to do some question analysis in a writing task 2. Many of the students get confused on analyzing a question and understanding a question properly. So in this section, I'll explain to you how to understand a question properly. When you're answering a question, what are elements that you need to address? This will really gonna help you to raise your task achievement and task development score. So let's get straight into it. The question analysis is really important, and I'm going to explain how each one of the question is analyzed properly before writing your essay. So this will help you when you take your exam every single time. So let's get into the very first question. Overpopulation in major centers around the world is a major issue. What are the problems of this? What can be done to solve the issue? Okay. So this question is really straightforward. However, before I go to my analysis, I suggest you to pause the video and take a piece of paper and write down in one sentence exactly what you're going to write in the essay. Think about what I have to put in my first body paragraph. That is, what should be the controlling idea in that body paragraph, and what I need to write in the second body paragraph and the controlling idea. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video right now and do your own analysis in 1 minute and compare it with mine. Okay. So let's get into the analysis of this question. This question is really straightforward, but make sure that you're clear on the difference between problems and causes. Okay, many students write the essay with or start writing the essay with causes, not problems. This is a big mistake that they are making. A big mistake. Not that they asked for the problems. Okay, not causes. Problem means the after effects. Okay, so be sure about the difference between causes and problems. Okay, now write the body paragraph that only discusses the problems created, not what caused it. Okay, very important. Now make sure that your solutions actually solve your problems. Okay, and note that they asked for the problems, so you have to mention more than one problem, and also solutions. So more than one solutions corresponding to the problems, and make sure that your solutions addresses your problem. That's how you write a highly coherent essay. Now let's move on to the next question. Advances in technology and automation have reduced the need of manual labor. Therefore, working hours should be reduced. To what extent do you agree? So this is the question. So you take a piece of paper and start analyzing the question before you hear my analysis. Okay. So here we have a what extent do you agree question. They aren't really asking whether you agree or disagree. Instead, they are asking you what extent do you agree. So you need to be very careful about that. So there are two ways in which you can answer this question. Either you can completely agree with this question or agree somewhat. Means that that is maybe the need for manual works are reduced, but working hours should not be reduced. Okay, like that you can somewhat agree to this question. If you completely agree with this, then the need for the manual works are reduced, and similarly the working hours should be reduced. That is how you can completely agree with the question. You can do either one of two. Okay, so let's see the analysis of this question. This question allows you to completely agree, argue strongly for one angle, and weakly argue for the other. Alright? So the focus here is whether working hours being reduced is good or bad when there is less need of manual labor. Okay. So the main focus is on the working hours, not the manual labor is needed or not. The main focus is on the working hours being reduced. Okay, and you have to decide whether it is a good or bad idea. Make sure that you don't get into a discussion of whether manual labor has to be reduced or not. Okay, that's fixed. Here in this question, the first sentence is actually a fact that they are giving. Okay, so you need not address that, or you need not discuss whether it is true or not. It's a fact actually, and they're giving that fact. Okay, and the second sentence followed by that is the actual question, and you have to spend more time on that. Therefore, working hours should be reduced. It's have to be given more attention than the first sentence. This happens almost all the times. That is, the first sentence will be a fact, and the second sentence will be the question that you have to address. Okay, so this happens all the time, and the question, the students will get confused whether they have to discuss both these sentences, and they will start writing the essay with the first sentence itself, and that this will hurt your score or your task development score. So always make sure that you understand the question properly, analyze it, and then write the essay. That is very, very effective. Now, the third question is a single question type. That is, in today's world, different world government and international organizations are confronting many problems. What is the most pressing problem among them? So here they're asking one single question. What is the most pressing problem among them? Now, before that, pause the video right now and write your own analysis on the piece of paper next to you, and then come back to the analysis and just compare it with mine. Okay. Now let's get into the analysis of this question. This question requires you to choose only one problem. Okay? Only one pressing problem. If you discuss more than one, then you would lose your points. So it will hurt your task achievement score if you're discussing more than one problem, because they are clearly mentioning or asking just one problem. Okay, so make sure that just address one pressing problem. Also, make sure that you discuss a problem that is faced by world governments and organizations. Say, for example, the global loss of trees or forests, means the deforestation problem, which is the most pressing, one of the pressing problems faced by most of the world's governments and organizations nowadays. Okay, so that can be one pressing problem. Then do not take an individual problem, okay, which is a non-governmental problem, non-world problem. Example, people are depressed, okay, that never comes under a world government organizations. All right, so make sure that you identifies the points or the controlling ideas that you have to come up with when reading the questions. Okay, so the question analysis is really important than you think. Okay, that can make a great difference in your essay. Okay, which will obviously will boost your score as well. Now our next question is, tobacco should be treated as illegal like other drugs. Smoking has not a single positive issue but lots of negative effects, and therefore it should be banned. Okay, this is basically a two embedded question type, and that is there are two questions actually. First one is whether it is illegal, that is we should decide whether it is legal or not, then it should be legal or not. And then the second portion has not a single positive issue but lots of negative effects are there, therefore it should be banned. Okay, so this question can be somewhat tricky. Before that, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and write down your analysis and then compare it with mine. Okay, I'll wait for you. Now let's get into the analysis. This question can be somewhat tricky. First, we must decide if smoking should be legal or illegal. Okay, your response should direct your answer to the second question. If I choose smoking should be illegal, that is, I have to support that it has no positive sides but lots of negatives. Okay, are you getting it? If I choose that it should remain illegal, it's legal, then I should also argue that it has some positive aspects. Okay, so depending on your stance, that is whether it is legal or illegal, the second point comes. All right, whether it is whether it has so many positives or negatives. All right, so this question they're trying to trick you, so you should be really careful about that. Now our next question. Okay, this is an agree or disagree type of question. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Face-to-face communication is better than other types of communication, such as letters, emails, or telephone calls. Use specific reasons and details to support your answer. Okay, so read the question properly. What do you get it from this question? Okay, unlike many agree disagree questions, here we can see that they are providing as options, and we should choose whether face-to-face communication is better than other types of communication like letters, emails, or telephone calls. They're providing as two options. Okay, so you cannot be in the middle, that is, take a side and then defend it. Okay, so if you believe face-to-face is better than writing communication, written communication, such as letters or emails, then argue that point strongly. Okay, you don't have to talk about all the other forms, and vice versa. That is, if you're supporting with the letters, emails, or telephone calls, stay with that and explain why they are better than face-to-face communication. Alright, so this is how you have to analyze a question and then start writing the essay. You can see a big difference in writing your essay, which can obviously raise your coherence score, task achievement score, and everything. Okay, so here in this type of question, you must take a side and should defend it. You cannot say, on the one hand, I feel face-to-face communication is better, and on the other hand, I think that the written communication is also equally good. Yeah, you can be in the middle. If you do that, you're going to lose your content and development score. Right? You have to take a choice. That's what you have to do in this question. Now, our last question. Cultural shock is a new worrying concern for new immigrant. What are a few possible options to eradicate or eliminate these concerns? Now, this question might be a little bit difficult because there are so many vocabularies like cultural shock, eradicate, eliminate. Okay, so you have to have the English ability to understand that vocabulary. This question is really straightforward because it's asking you what are few possible options, means solutions to this concern. Okay, let's analyze that. The important aspect to note in this question is that you must give more than one option, because they are asking what are a few possible options. Okay, so you have to give more than one options. Alright, if you discuss only one option, you will be viewed as not fully developing the essay question. Okay, they will understand that or you are not getting the question properly if you address only one option. So be really careful about that. In addition, there is a vocabulary challenge as well with the word eradicate and illuminate. Alright, so this is the analysis of all these questions, and you can really make use of all these questions for analyzing, practicing analyzing the questions, which is very important before getting to the essay. Okay, so in the coming videos we'll be discussing how to start writing your essay, how to introduce your essay, just introduction in particular, and then we'll get into the body paragraphs in separate videos. So if you want to get more videos, please subscribe to my channel IELTS with Seethal, and stay tuned. Bye.